Everyone, get ready. There is truly unbelievable breaking news. Donald Trump, in a Truth Social post filled with anger, openly admitted that he issued presidential pardons in exchange for favors. In the history of the United States, we have never seen such blatant corruption at this level. Donald Trump, in the first 10 months of his presidency, pardoned nearly 1,600 people as I remember it. About 1,600 people. Biden, over his entire 4-year term, pardoned only about 140 people, and at that time Republicans were furious, as if their heads were about to explode. But now Trump has approached 1,600 people. Each and every pardon became increasingly more corrupt and more shameless. Yet the Republican Party is tightly shutting its eyes and refusing to see anything. This morning, Trump became angry because Representative Henry Cuellar, even after receiving a pardon, did not switch his party affiliation to the Republican Party. This means that Trump demanded a party change in exchange for the pardon, and it is extremely obvious. Before I read Trump's anger-filled message, let me remind you of something. Trump pardoned the former president of Honduras, the man who was convicted by a U.S. jury for smuggling 500 kilograms of cocaine from Honduras into the United States. Trump pardoned him, and there are rumors that this individual would donate a huge amount into Trump's cryptocurrency coin. It makes sense. And this is not the end. A few months ago, Trump also pardoned the founder of Binance. This person was accused of enabling drug money to flow into the United States and other countries through the Binance platform. There were encrypted secret transactions, and the United States did not want to be associated with such dealings. Nevertheless, Trump pardoned this person. It's unbelievable. Everything is because of corruption. Trump directly received money from these individuals in the form of cryptocurrency. There is also the case of Justin Sunday. Justin Sun, a Chinese billionaire, was under investigation by the SEC for market manipulation and harming U.S. investors, so he was banned from entering the United States. But Trump received a $70 million cryptocurrency donation from Justin Sunday. Justin Sun even publicly bragged about it. Then Trump invited him to the White House, halted the SEC investigation, and pressured government agencies to make the entire issue disappear. This is exactly what a quid pro quo corruption deal looks like. So today, Trump is angry. He did not receive the payoff he wanted. Yes, the deal failed. To explain the background again, Trump's pardon of Henry Cuellar shocked many people. Cuellar was a Democratic congressman, but he had been indicted on federal charges of bribery, money laundering, and receiving foreign influence. Yet Trump pardoned him and completely ended the case. The problem lies with the Republican Party. The Republicans are maintaining only a very narrow majority in the House, and the Republican Party had a very high chance of winning Cuellar's district. Cuellar was corrupt. Yes, of course Democrats can also be corrupt, not as much as Trump, but still, in any case, Cuellar was under investigation. But Trump thought, wait a minute, if I pardon Cuellar, he will come over to the Republican Party. Then we won't even need to spend money on the election in that district. It seemed like a perfect calculation. But that is not what happened. And Trump announced the pardon without saying anything to House Speaker Mike Johnson. And in an interview with Axios, Johnson said, Trump's pardon strengthened the Democratic candidate in a district that Republicans most needed to target, and it could hinder the Republican Party's fragile majority in next year's midterm elections. Honestly, it was a very poor political decision. Of course, there were moments when his instincts helped him politically, like the moment in Butler after the assassination attempt when he raised his fist. Yes, I am not someone who praises Trump. I'm just stating facts. But this incident, and everything Trump has shown over the past 10 months, has been the worst for America. And at the same time, this pardon became the worst blow to the Republican Party as well. Now, let's look at Trump's rage-filled Truth Social post. Trump said this, imagine this, under the corrupt Joe Biden administration, the Democrats, who always use extreme force and imprisonment to destroy political opponents, tried to put Henry Cuellar and his wife in prison for 15 years. I predicted that these radical left lunatics would do this. Yes. We all know what Merrick Garland is like. He is Biden's attorney general. But he was not an aggressive prosecutor. He was so slow that everyone was frustrated. Trump continues, and the Democrats ruthlessly attacked Henry and his family. But in truth, it was not the Democrats, it was simply the justice system investigating him. He had a lawyer, and he was guaranteed sufficient time and due process. Trump also said, they tried to destroy Henry, his wife, his 2 young daughters, and everyone close to them. But the truth is that Cuellar himself created this situation, with his bribery and money laundering charges. Trump says, Even after the Democrats overwhelmingly lost the 2024 election and lost power, they continued to attack the Cuellar family, and the reason is that Henry wanted strong border security. None of it is true. He continues. Henry didn't want illegal immigrants entering the United States, gang members, drug dealers, those kinds of people. None of it is true. Trump says, and for the sake of justice, and after seeing the desperate request of his daughters, I decided to pardon him. I had never spoken to his family, but I felt it was right to fight for them. And the next sentence is the key point. Trump says, but then something happened. Not long after the pardon, Henry Cuellar announced that he would run again in Texas as a Democrat. In Texas, where I had the highest vote count in history. He continues. He is continuing to work with the radical left scum who wanted to imprison him and his wife for life. A lack of loyalty. The voters of Texas and his daughters will not like it. Next time, I will not pretend to be nice. And as Melanie pointed out, Trump became angry because Cuellar did not change his party affiliation, which proves clearly that Trump tried to exchange political gains for a pardon. And this corruption is unprecedented. The pardon of the former president of Honduras, the Binance founder, the shutting down of the SEC investigation into Justin's son, and the pardoning of 1,500 January 6 rioters. All of this is severe corruption, but this surpasses everything. In fact, some of those pardoned later returned to prison, and some were even shot by police during incidents. But this Cuellar pardon is the most extreme case, because it directly reveals that Trump demanded a payoff in exchange for the pardon through Trump's own words. It is truly unprecedented. And as you all know, this pardon completely backfired. Trump bypassed Mike Johnson and unilaterally issued the pardon, but Cuellar did not change his party affiliation. The Republican Party now risks losing Cuellar's district. It is both ridiculous and shocking. That's it for today. I love you all.